Welcome to my voiceover presentation. My topic today is emotional labor in the service industry. If you're unfamiliar what emotional labor is, it's kind of like when you get a gift and you don't really like it, but you have to put on a happy face and act nice because otherwise the person who gave it to you would be offended. Except in this case, you have to do it all day long at work. Emotional labor is the process of managing feelings and expressions to fulfill the emotional requirements of a job. More specifically, workers are expected to regulate their emotions during interactions with customers, coworkers, or superiors. Evidence of emotional labor is seen when an employee reaches a point of exhaustion, referred to as a burnout. One of the highest rates of burnout is considered to be among people employed in the hospitality industry, including waiters. Servers in restaurants are often forced to mask genuine emotions as part of their hospitality jobs. Hiding how they truly feel and portraying a fake personality leads to emotional disconnection when off the clock and mental exhaustion. Stressors at work that can create a hostile and harmful environment can consist of sexual harassment from customers as well as coworkers. This becomes self-damaging because there is a stigma that one must keep their composure as part of their job despite toxic elements that may be present. This is an example of emotional labor because the cost of their success relies on their ability to conceal feelings of helplessness, irritability, anxiety, and decrease in self-respect. Emotional labor comes at an emotional cost, and employers who require emotional labor should do so in a supportive manner rather than controlling climate. By training employees to recognize mistreatment, offering downtime to help workers recharge, and giving employees opportunities to engage in honest interaction, employers might find a positive attitude that comes about on its own, rather than being forced. For the past 7 months, I've been serving, hosting, and bussing at Fitz's Bottling Co. and Restaurant in the Loop. So for the next part of my presentation, I interviewed one of my favorite coworkers.
I'm Kyle. I have been serving / bartending for 9 years. I'm 25, so I started serving at the age of 16. And the last question was my overall reflection of the service industry. Great money and emotionally draining. Very different depending on the day of the week. Most of the time I'm in a great mood. I kind of have to mentally prepare myself like I'm about to play in the World Series of Baseball. That's how I would explain walking the Fitz's. If they're frustrated that they've had to wait a while to get a table on the weekends or during summer, I personally don't feel like I owe them anything, because if you're logically going to go out to eat on a weekend, you are going to wait 45 minutes anywhere you go. I mean, if the restaurant is halfway decent. So the fact that you're impatient because you've waited, that's on you. I mean, you chose to go out to eat. You're going to have to wait anywhere. So no, I'm not going to swallow fire or juggle swords because you're in a bad mood. That's totally illogical to me. But I might throw in, hey, thanks for your patience and waiting. Not because I actually mean that, but because that's just, hey, I know you've waited, but you're gonna have to wait some more. So that's how I feel about working peak periods. I do feel like certain customers judge me for my sexual orientation, which is unfortunate because I like guys, and I don't think that has anything to do with what you want to eat. I mean, yeah, so that's how I feel starting off about that. How does it make me feel? I think with any minority group, there's a difference between someone being crabby and or in a bad mood, and there's a difference between the feeling of being discriminated against, whether you're gay or a different ethnicity. And I think you can feel the difference between those two things. So how does it make me feel when my customers judge me because I'm gay? Well, it makes me kind of sad for them because I'm very nice and I'm in a pleasant mood and I will run circles and get you anything you want. So I just think it's ignorant and it makes me very frustrated. And I think anyone would agree when you're being discriminated against for any reason that it would put you in a bad mood. So it might make me mad or upset. Sometimes, I mean, if I'm having a rough day, I might not be 100% as present in the moment as I would be if I was having the best day of my life. Um, and yeah, I think it is reflected in my tip for sure. When I'm having a bad day and I have to come to work, the techniques I use to mask my feelings are um, I usually make sure I look pretty good. That way, that way hopefully my coworkers or my customers will tell me I look good, so I get in a better mood. And I call my best friend on my way to work, and I might vent to her on the way and just get that out. And then definitely, I think just mentally preparing yourself for anything. I think it's hard to check it out the door, but it's very hard to check that up at the door. I think anywhere you work, whether you're a doctor, you're a server, but I come here to make money. Means that you are handing off something for something else. So you might be being emotionally drained in order to make money. How long of a list do you want? People with no common sense. People that act like they have never ate at a restaurant before. Seeing like you can't read a menu. When I walk up to a table to greet them and say, hi, how are you? And they either A, keep talking over me, B, they don't respond. It's like, yeah, it would be nice for you to ask me how I'm doing, because that's just courteous, and it's rude to keep talking over your server because I probably have 6 other tables and I don't have time for you to keep talking over. But I'm like working hard. I mean, at 200%, I'm hustling, I'm in the flow. Clearly, usually when that happens, when you're working hard anywhere, you're like dripping sweat. And when I walk up to a table and my shirt's drenched and I'm dripping sweat and I'm out of breath, it's like, yeah, I'm working as hard as I can. And a lot of people don't take that into account. I'll be at a table taking an order and they'll be like, Kyle! And it's like, whoa, they give me $2 on a $60 bill. And it happens all the time. And it's like, okay, first of all, I make $3.80 an hour, which equates to about zero on a paycheck. And number two, I am working for tips. I mean, how horrible to go to a restaurant, you can spend $60 on a meal, and you can spend $100 on a meal, and you're gonna not tip your waiter or just give them 5% of the check? That is mind-blowing to me. Please don't ever come out to eat anywhere. I'm kind of like a gay Amy Schumer, so sexual harassment doesn't bother me. I mean, hit on me all day long, please. I'm cool with it. But sexuality harassment from coworkers is just had some run-ins with that. It's really disheartening because I come here to make money. I'm nice to everyone that is here. The back of house and the front of house have to be symbiotic.